Good morning, and welcome to Ahiah's meditation service. So as you just become still, recognizing the perfection of God within and without, surrounding you, holding you, just lean into that perfection. Lean into the goodness of God. So I ask you this morning to take a little trip with me. I'm going to ask you to go to the water, any body of water that you love. And if you don't want to go to the water, then you choose your space. Allow it to be a pasture, a mountain, a forest, wherever you find that you would like to be in this moment. I'm choosing water because it's cleansing, refreshing, releasing. So in this moment, I ask that you see your perfect day. Be it that perfect day in your life that has already happened, or one that you're designing because we're in a new year. But see your perfect day. Just be in it, because you are creating it. So be in it, or you've already had it. Whatever that looks like for you, know that perfect day. And now I'm going to ask you to up-level that. Just blow it out. Create your wildest dream. That day that just would blow your socks off. Would make you so happy that you feel like your chest is busting open. That day. That day that excites you. Be there. And release anything that holds you back, that keeps you from being so excited that you know it is perfect. I'm calling you forward to live the life that God has ordained for you. Because it is that fullness. It is that richness. It is that excitement. And all you need to do is choose it. So just lean into that feeling. Allow yourself to know God's gifts for you. You were born at this time, in this space and place, to rejoice, to live fully, to be alive, and to carry your precious gifts to everyone on this planet. To do that, it requires you to live fully, to live with an expanding heart, to trust God, and to know that surrounded by the safety, the love, the peace, the joy that is your birthright. So just sit in that for this moment. Realize it, know it. Set this as your water level, your level of being, your space and place where you live from. And so that when you're not there, you get there and beyond. Allow this feeling of excitement and joy to be the place that you live from. The place that you don't forget. The place that you choose in every moment. For this space is the space that Spirit holds for you. Yes, it's called perfection. Not being perfect, living in God's perfection. Allowing yourself to live in your birthright. And choosing it when you wake up in the morning. And if you forget, choose it again. And keep choosing this space. And all of a sudden, it'll be so natural that you'll know, I can live here. I can be here. I can have this. And you won't forget. And allow your prayer to be that you hold this space dear and allow for it every moment of every day. And I know what you're thinking, you're saying, I can't be this excited. Sure you can. Don't choose the mundane. Choose the aliveness of spirit. Choose to be excited about life. Choose to walk, talk, and live from a high space of consciousness. That place where God resides within you. Choose that. And as you choose that, release all that is other than that. Just drop it down. Let it go. I say that God speaks through you and through each one of us. And I say that if we only would listen, we would hear this high vibration, this chord that we could walk to, talk through, and be. And this vibration will become the new normal. So no matter what is going on in the world, we can attune to this vibration. No matter what the news says, we can attune to this vibration, that high space of spirit. For as we lock this in to our consciousness, as we become this high space, all those things that are reported, all those things that go on in the world, they no longer touch us. And when we see them, we can pray. We can lift the world up to our vibration. And eventually, we will no longer see. And the news will no longer report. Because we have helped the planet lift to the highest vibration. This is the dream of dreams. The dream that we create into reality just by our knowing, just by our being, just by our allowing, just by our leaning into spirit. So take that in this morning. And just hold on to it. Review it. Be with it. Trust it. For truly, Spirit is speaking to each one of us, calling us forward to live our fullest dream, to be that we have come for. We're living on this planet for a reason. We are the lights that shine so brightly. So let your light shine. So, as we return to this space and place, thanks, Spirit, for allowing you to see who you really are. Thanks, Spirit, for allowing you to take this moment in time. Thanks, Spirit, for showing you the way and for being available every single moment. thank the Spirit from within and without for allowing you to know the truth. But truly, we are in a perfect time on this planet so that we might do our spiritual work, that we might live from that high space of spirit. It's truly a gift. So as you open your eyes and return, just know that this feeling, this wisdom, this knowledge, this knowing is available for you to tune in, and that Spirit is calling you. Tune in. Be available to your dreams. Know that you truly can choose your gifts and live fully. So this is the end of this meditation. And I say thank you, God, for this time. Namaste. The service will begin shortly. Just hold this quiet space, communing with Spirit.
Yes, it's some hard times. People stand fast. They go on. Hear the voices of the children as they play. Listen to the mockingbird, hear the bluebird sing. Please listen to them now. Hard times, it's some hard times. People stand fast. They go on. Feel the spirit reach deep inside. Feel the sunshine in your heart. Let it shine its ever-loving light. spirits reach deep inside. Let it shine this ever-loving light. Let it shine its ever-loving light.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you. And family, for the first time in the year of 2022, I say to you, God morning. Indeed, indeed. Yes, as Chris reminded us, no matter, and Marcia in the meditation this morning, no matter what it looks like, God is the only thing that's happening. And God is happening right here and right now. And these are statements of truth that we need to remind ourselves about on a moment-by-moment basis. Pray without ceasing, because more than ever, it's needed. I'm Reverend Michael Bernard Lattimore, your assistant minister, your guide on the side this morning. Honored to be here with you in 2022, indeed. Want to thank everyone who has made this service possible. We've got Harris, our technical director back there managing the streams. In the YouTube room, there is Peter Bedard. Mindy is in the Zoom room. We've got Gloria in the sound room. And you and I are in the big room, yes. Indeed, indeed. So grateful to be with you this new year. The theme is Living Everyday Wonders. That's the theme for January. And the wisdom talk today is Wonder, Wonder Everywhere. Indeed. That sounds very exciting. And we've got musical inspiration today. Stefana Dadas is in the house. Thank you, Stefana. And we send light to our beloved Connie, knowing that right where she is, God is. And of course, we've got the Sunday band. Yes, we got Brian Menifee on the percussions over here, holding down the rhythm. Woo-hoo. Leon Johnson on the bass. Leon, all right, he's holding it down. And our beloved practitioner, Chris Glick, tickling the keyboards. Yes. Thank you, Chris. Speaking of practitioners, our practitioner emeritus today is Marcia Bradshaw. She's going to do the inspirational reading, invocation, and she's just going to do what she do. Yes, let's give her some love, Marcia. Thank you for that powerful meditation this morning. It really helped me to get grounded inside of myself. And I think that's what we need to do, and that's why we're here, grounding ourselves in God's joy and wonder at God's party. And so our senior minister, Reverend Scott Olson, will be delivering the talk today, the wisdom talk, and just asked me, did I want to do a power talk? And, you know, a minister with a mic, yep, absolutely, anytime. So we're going to definitely have some fun today. And so with that, why don't we get God's party started? Yes, indeed. And I know Gabriel has put together a wonderful video meditation for us. So let's just turn within to the secret and sacred place as we ground ourselves in this evocative video.
Deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. lost or won. Everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to the present moment, here to a new beginning, here, and I'm seeing things so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. 'Cause here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the sweetest kind of love, to the deepest kind of love. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul.
The musicians talking over there, and I think they were wondering, is that me? And the truth is yes, it was them. It was them with Allison Lewis. She came in and performed a year or so ago with that song, and we had it on film, so we decided to use it for meditation. So anyway, it's all good, and you sounded really good. So, good morning, everyone. My name is Reverend Scott Olson. It's truly, truly my pleasure to be here today. And so now we're going to have our invocation and prayer in whatever order she wants to do it in. And Marcia will be coming right up.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. What order do I want to do it in? Oh my goodness. I get so excited about being here. Trust me, it is fun. It gets, something happens when you walk up to the podium. I'm not quite sure what it is. So now I've been here 3 times in a row. It's becoming a habit. Watch out, Reverend Michael. You know how we do. So this morning I'm reading from 365 Days Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. I am filled with confidence and a sense of security. For God shall give God's angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. Psalms 91:11. Deep within the consciousness of each of us, there is a center of peace and security where trouble and accidents do not occur, where truth and love reign supreme, where good is the only power. It is to this center that we go in the silence of our own minds to commune daily with the Spirit that is both around us and within us. Truly, this is the Most High within, always immediately responsive to us. In our meditation, we seek to make this presence more real to us and more personal. And as we do, an inward sense of calm comes over the mind, a feeling of security and safety that every human being needs. I know that all the power there is and all the presence there is love, the Spirit Almighty. I know that love protects me and that I am guided and guarded into the pathways of peace, of joy, and of security. I know that this is true of all people. This is what I believe about everyone. This is what exists for the whole world. This is my prayer of acceptance today and every day. I feel myself safe in the keeping of the divine love. I feel the soft, enveloping presence of the living Spirit. I know there is no confusion or doubt in the mind of God, and God's mind is the only mind there is. This mind is my mind now, directing everything I do, guarding every movement I make. For all thy ways are ways of blessedness, and all thy paths are peace. I trust. I live and move and have my being in that which is completely perfect and wholly joyous. How precious is that reading. And it is from that space of trusting God that I say thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for life itself. Thank you for the eternality of life. And so I bless this moment in time and call it good and very good. As I bless this service, knowing that God's speaking, God's listening, God's hearing, and God knows. I bless each person that is here this day and all those that are listening from far and wide, recognizing the goodness of God in each of us. So I just know that the words that are spoken by Reverend Scott are truly God speaking to each one of us. I know the words spoken by Reverend Michael are the gift. And I know that the musicians are blessed, for they play and they bring their talent this day so that we might rejoice in the music we hear. And I just know that the music is prayerful, for it is God speaking to God. And I bless all those individuals that are here this day, making sure that this service is heard, making sure that each one of us is availed of all of the gifts that are being given this day. So I say thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you, life. Thank you, each person present and all those listening in either now or later. For I know the blessing is always taking place. For it is truly God speaking to God, God listening, and God receiving the gifts. And for this and so much more, I say thank you, thank you, thank you, as I release this word into the law, knowing that God has said yes to each one of us, and that we are truly blessed for this moment in time and every moment. I know it is done. I just allow it to be as we say, and so it is. Amen, 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 ashe.
Thank you, Marcia. You know, we are so blessed in our practitioners here at Ahiah. We're blessed in having 3 practitioner emeritus, a 4th one that is watching us from above. That would be Nancy Thompson. And we have 6 other practitioners here, and they're all beautiful. They're all a beautiful light that serve this community in so many ways. So I just want to say thank you to Marcia and to the other practitioners. And so now is time for our next music to come on up. So Stefana Dadas is going to bless us with a song.
I'm standing in for my sis and our beloved songstress Connie Rouse, who is with us virtually. Hey, sis. And she loves you very much, misses you, and looks forward to seeing you again soon. This song here that I'm doing with the band is an original called "The Plan," and it's a song that was that I had written at a tougher and a darker time in my life, kind of a letter of sorts of my higher self, of God, to me, to remind me to be calm, have faith. I got this. I got you. I'm holding you. I'm carrying you. I will not let you go. And in fact, there's so much good and blessing for you. Just stay open. I hope this is a comfort for some. Come, take my hand. I have a plan. So much good is waiting for you now. See, faith, it is the key. You gotta trust what you can't see. And in time, I will reveal. 'Cause I have a plan. I won't let you slip through the palm of my hand. And always remember that I do now understand. And I'm your footprints in the sand. Yes. still inside to recognize each open door I swing before you. Try not to move in haste, just slow down your pace and stop right where you are and smell every rose. 'Cause I have a plan. I won't let you slip through the palm of my hand. And always remember that I do, child. Understand? Yes, I do. And I'm your footprints in the sand. Yes. Yes, I am. Oh, come, take my hand. I have a plan, child. So much good is waiting for you.
Thank you, Stefano. Beautiful song, beautiful lyrics, beautiful music. You know, I was particularly struck by the idea of the footprints in the sand, and I know there are moments in my life when I see those footprints. You know, and when I see the footprints in the sand, I know everything is all right. So thank you. So, January. January's theme is living everyday wonder. And we do get to live in everyday wonder all the time. We get to live it when we just go out and we look and we see things like the rose here that's showing up on your screen. Or you go out into the woods and you see a deer standing in the woods. Or maybe you just go to the ocean and you see the sunset at the ocean. And all of these things are just living everyday wonders. And the thing I know is that I only look for them occasionally. You know, I don't look for them all the time. I look for them when the mood strikes me, whether that's I'm in a happy mood, so I look for them. Or maybe I'm in a bit of a sad mood, so I go out and I want to lift myself up by looking for the everyday wonders that are around me. But however it occurs, what I know is I'm not always looking for them. And so I know that if I were to look for them all the time, they would still be there. I would still find them. And so there must be so many little everyday wonders around. The world is full of them. And so what would it look like if I always looked for them? It would be a different life if I was just always looking for those everyday wonders. And Ernest Holmes, he says this. He's the founder of our philosophy, and he says, even the common things of life assume a natural goodness, beauty, and dignity when viewed as a whole. So when we, even beyond those individual moments, those snapshots that we take of living everyday wonders, there are everyday wonders that are beyond that, that are just everything taken together as the whole. For example, if we were to look at somebody's life as their whole, there would be, as a whole, we are special. We are each unique. We are each have our own life. And we would look at that life as a whole, and we could see the individual parts, the birth, and the childhood and the adult life, and maybe the family that person had, and the career and the retirement, and the eventual transition at the end of their life. We would see special things in all of those pieces, but the life as a whole is also an everyday wonder in its own way. And so what I suggest is that we just dip in during this month of January. We dip into that way of being with the universe, where we allow the universe to show us the everyday wonders that are around us. And we're going to start off by asking Reverend Mike to come on up, and he's going to tell us a little bit about everyday wonders in his life.
Thank you, Rev.
Absolutely.
And thank you, Stefana. OMG. Woo! Oh, so much came through. So much came through. And what a reminder, that God has a plan. That no matter what it looks like, God has got me in the palm of her hand. Oh, thank you so much for that. Woo! And thank you, Rev. Thank you for everything. And Albert Einstein said there are two ways to live your life. One is as if nothing is a miracle, and the other is as if everything is a miracle, And today we're being called to see that miracle, to call it forward, to behold it, because it's wondrous and it's everywhere around us. In this year, we are awakening to the truth that we can predict the future. Yes, we predict the future by creating it, because we are that which has created everything anyway. And so through us, we can use this power to create the future. So we predict the future. And secondly, we can change the past. Yes, by changing our mind about it right now. And it changes it. What a miracle. Isn't that wondrous? So Friday night, we culminated, I think this is year 20 of Movies for Peace. We started with Season for Nonviolence 20 years ago, and we're still doing it. And Friday night, we saw the last feature of Creative Intelligence, Using Your Intuitive Intelligence. And there was some amazing content in that film. The opening started off with a medium, and I'm so glad to see my brother Alan this morning. I know, no coincidence, a medium talking about how when we cross over, they come to get us. And I don't even know how I know that to be true, but when you know something and you know that you know it, I know it. Because when I witnessed my mother's transition in 2013, I could feel the ancestors with her. I could feel them coming. My mother never knew her mother. She was, another story, a product of an interracial union in the 30s, raised by nuns in a convent. She never knew her parents. But I knew, I could feel in my heart of hearts that they came to get her at the moment that she crossed over, you know? And so last week, Rev was talking about nostalgia, you know, that feeling of sadness and pleasure about something that you would like to come back. And every year around about this time, I began to revisit my mom's transition, her choice, her freedom, you know, the fact that she said, look, my light is too strong for this little body, and I can't do my crossword puzzles, and I'm up and out of here, you know? And my mother was very strong. I couldn't argue with her on that, you know? And gosh. And so I've been kind of going through it. So I wrote in the newsletter article this week, I wrote about that. And then at our meeting this week, how wondrous it was that Rev showed the invocation of Nancy Thompson, reminding us that there is a divine intelligence conspiring for our good, that it's always there. And it was as if she is still here on this side. And then I realized that, you know, like the little boy in that movie, The Sixth Sense, he says, I see dead people, you know? I'm always communing with people who we call dead, you know? All the time, you know? So many of them, our practitioners who have transitioned, Miss Adelaide, JW, every time I say, God knows and God shows, I download JW, you know, right? Because she said that 100,000 times, and she's still teaching from the other side of life. How wondrous is that? So I am here because of somebody on the other side who sent a message to summon me. And that individual, and I'm going to give his wife credit too, because I know they were like peas in a pod, was a minister from this church from back in the 50s and 60s. He was the founder of the Abundant Life Foundation, he and his wife, Cornelia. His name was Jack Addington. His name is Jack Addington. And what I know is that Jack is still teaching from the other side of life, just like Wayne Dyer is, right? You can go and put in your Wayne Dyer MP3, The Power of Intention, Wishes Fulfilled, and it's as if he is right here in front of you, right here and right now, you know? So the veil has gotten thin. So Jack Addington knew that I went to a particular 12-step meeting on Saturdays at noon and arranged for, I'm going to just out her, Quita Waters, who was the daughter of a longtime member of this church, Ruth Waters, and she brought this book to the meeting. And I was sitting on the other side of the room, and when she walked in, she sat the book on the table, and like the heavens opened up. Angels started trumpeting, dun, da, 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 right? And I saw that book, and it was like a magnetic attraction. I did not know that that book was holding the key to a shift, a turning of the page in my destiny, and that it would bring me here for 21 years or 23 years or however long it's been. Seemed like yesterday though, right? But I could not wait for the break. And I went straight to her and I said, what is that book, Quita? And she said, oh, this is, my mom gave me this book. And the book was called Your Needs Met. And little spoiler alert, on Wednesday nights, the Healing Circle, we call it the Oracle. We consulted every week. And no matter what we were talking about, when we open up that book, the prayer that shows up is about that topic. And I mean, it's happened over and over and over again. So by now, it's like, beloved, why are you so surprised? So Jack arranged for her to have that book. I opened up the book, and it was an affirmative prayer about creating your life, about God having a plan, that no matter what it's looking like, God has got it worked out because there's a perfect power within you. And you can tap into that perfect power at any time. And you can transmute conditions. You can transcend space and time. It's just this great kind of cool thing, right? And I was like, where is this? Where are these people? Because I knew you were my tribe. And I knew that there was somebody else on the planet that knew what I had always known. I just didn't know why I knew it or how I knew it. And so I came. I came here, and that Sunday, Reverend Charles was reading my mail, and he was talking about what was going on in my life right then and there. And that continues to happen every time I show up. It's always, when I come here, it's always about what's going on in my life right now. Right now. So, you can predict the future by creating it right now. And you don't have to do it alone. We have practitioners here. We have practitioners. And we have some practitioners that are on the other side that are still available. I'm telling you, you know, you got to try it. You got to try it. And this is not about something that I read in a book, but this is about something that I experienced in my life, you know. And I wanted to say, in terms of wonder, you know, when I saw Alan, I remembered an event that he did here, and I was sitting about where he is right now, you know, and I got a clear message from my baby brother, Lee, who passed at 21 years old. Clear message, right? And the message that came through was in a way in which there was no other way that message could have come, you know. And so it just reminds us that this thing that, you know, we call death is just simply life on the other side, on the other plane, and that God has a plan. And finally, remember that you can change the past, no matter what that past was, simply by changing your mind about it now. And you don't have to do it alone. You can get some help. And so call me for prayer. Call our practitioners for prayer. There's the prayer line. Come to the movie night. Come to the book study on Tuesday. Oh, and spoiler alert. I was talking with Alpha Jerry the other night. I'm going to say this and I'm going to shut up. I was talking to Alpha Jerry, and she says, hey, did you know Jack Addington has got a book? He and his wife wrote The Perfect Power Within You. And it is a guide to 70 statements of truth that you can incorporate in your life to change your future. And I said, So I'm reading it right now. I'm going to read this lesson for today. It is the power of choice. Only humankind has been given the power of choice, writes Jack. Only humankind is co-created with God. This privilege carries with it a certain responsibility. You must make your own choices. Your happiness depends on it. You are a unique individual, and your needs, spiritual, mental, and physical, are known only to you. So to let another make your choices can be disastrous. The perfect power within you knows what is right for you and will inspire you in making the right choices. Amen. Yes. Happy Sunday, family, and Happy New Year.
Yes. Thank you, Rev. So many examples of living everyday wonder. Absolutely. So today's talk is wonder everywhere. Everywhere. And, you know, before we really get into that aspect, I want to start off with the thought that, you know, January is back to basics. And so I want to make sure that we cover those basics each of the weeks of January also. And so last week, you know, it's all based off of the introductory chapter in the Science Mind text by Ernest Holmes, our founder. And he breaks that up into 4 bits. And the first one is called the thing itself. And basically the 2 basic ideas I covered last week were, you know, there's God and nothing else, right? There's nothing else but God. That's just a very, very basic core concept of our philosophy. But the second thing, and this is very unique to our new thought philosophies, both, you know, Science of Mind is our philosophy. It's the old name for our philosophy. There's divine science and unity and Christian science. And we all share with this one idea that our thoughts create our realities, right? That's just very, very basic to our philosophy. And so we covered that last week. And this week, I want to talk a little bit about the second bit of that chapter, which is called the way it works. And there's two basic ideas about the way it works. And the first one is up here on your screen. It says, our thought is our personal use of the creative intelligence. So it's not just that Spirit responds to what we think, it's that we, being all that God is, we have access to the creative intelligence that God is in that way. Now, the problem is that most people don't realize that. And even if we do kind of understand it mentally, we don't always create from that place. Because we always have the option of not following the creative intelligence that God is. And what happens when we're not following the creative intelligence and we're following our own limited intelligence, our ego's intelligence? And we do that a lot. And some people, in fact, I would say most people on this planet tend to do that as the majority of the way that they create. Because it takes discipline to allow ourselves to stay in that space where we're not allowing the ego to reign, where we're allowing Spirit to speak to us. We have to stay quiet to hear that. We have to listen and say yes to all that Spirit is. So I always have access to that great infinite intelligence that God is, but I have to choose to say yes to it. I have to choose that that's the path that I want to be on. I have to choose that, yes, I am worthy of what Spirit is doing. The plan that Stefana's song talked about, it's God's plan, but it's not God's plan. It's God's plan in that we first have to kind of put out to it, we need a plan. I want a plan. It's not that Spirit always had this plan in its back pocket that said, you shall follow my plan. You know, that's not the way it works. It's more that we say, yes, this is what I desire. And God comes back and says, well, here's a plan. By the way, this plan is based on the infinite intelligence that God is. Do you want to follow that plan? Well, sometimes we say yes. Sometimes we say no. And so when we're talking about God's plan, we're just talking about this thing that is in front of us, this way of being that we can decide to follow. Now, the second piece that's in this chapter is Spirit works for us by working through us. And so what that means is there's always something for us to do. It may be just as simple as just saying yes. Sometimes that's all that needs to be done. In fact, the truth is that's always needed. We always have to say yes. We always have to see ourselves as worthy of that which Spirit is giving us. Because if we don't, then we're not saying yes, we're really saying no. The other thing is that sometimes what is required of us is a willingness to actually take action. Sometimes what's being called for is for us to treat and move our feet. Sometimes we pray and then we have to do. But we don't do what our mind, our ego tells us to do. We do what our heart tells us to do. We have to follow our heart. And so when we're following our heart, what we're doing is we're listening to the infinite intelligence that God is, and we're allowing Spirit to work through us. That's the natural way for this to work. So that's the very basic ideas, right? That's the basic idea of how it works, right? The way it works. That's what Ernest Holmes called it. And so what I want to do is I want to look at this thing of there's these two ideas, right? The first one, again, was our thought is our personal use of the creative intelligence. And the second one is Spirit works through us, works for us by working through us. So how do I get that creative intelligence then to work through me and as me? How does that work? Well, you know, the problem I think that we have in our society right now for allowing that idea that God's creative intelligence, the infinite intelligence of the universe, working through me and as me, the problem with that is that we don't connect with that as a society, as a whole people. Instead, what we've done is we've decided that it's all about human intelligence. You know, there was a day, we got a picture up here, we got a few pictures up here. On the top row, the pictures are a picture of an alchemist and a picture of a magician, right? And that's who we thought had powers years and years and years ago. We thought that alchemists had power or magicians had power. And what we knew about that is that those people, you know, we didn't know how they had the power. There was something that was behind them. Maybe God, you know, maybe the devil, you know, I don't know. But we had awe about the power that was behind them. And we didn't really think that it was them. We thought they were using this arcane magic, this arcane power to bring stuff and change stuff in the world. And so there was this sense of awe that went beyond what they were doing based upon how it was happening. We were in awe of that power. But now we've kind of changed. Now we have the bottom row of people, right? And the bottom row are people like, you know, scientists, engineers, academics, physicians. These are all people, and what we expect is that these people understand, that they know what they know, that it's all in their brain, right? The gray matter between this ear and that ear is where that resides, that knowledge lives. We expect that it is these people that are making these choices and decisions, that are coming up with these ideas. And the thing about these human, you know, the idea of human creativity, human technology, human medicine, is that it's all human. It's all about people. It's all about not a divine intelligence, but a human intelligence. And the thing about that intelligence is that it's oh so rational, right? Hundreds of years ago, we started on this path of enlightenment. We called it that. We called it the Enlightenment, which was rational thinking. And a lot of things have happened. A lot of good things have happened. But we've lost in that process, I think we've lost a little bit of the awe. And we've started deciding that, you know, that everything is solvable by a person. Angela Morin says, Morgan, I misspelled it here. Angela Morgan, she says, oh, to be alive in such an age when miracles are everywhere in every inch of common air throbs a tremendous prophecy of greater marvels yet to be. You know, that's, I think, how we view things nowadays in our age. Right now, we think that as long as humanity cannot, blow up the planet or somehow poison it to the point where we can't live on it anymore, as long as we avoid those two things, that human intelligence, that we're going to figure things out. We're going to create technology and an understanding that will allow 8 billion, 10 billion, 20 billion, I don't know, people to live on the planet, to live in harmony, to have all the things that we want to have. We have this kind of underlying faith. The thing is when we think about it, we realize that I don't know how to do that. I'm actually a physicist and I don't know how to do that. But we have this kind of feeling that somebody knows how to do that. Somebody's going to figure it out. But it's not going to be me. And so in some ways what we've done is we've allowed this creativity to be the answer, this human creativity to be the answer. And I have to admit, it's amazing what humans have done. I looked on the internet for patents last night, and it's truly amazing the pace that patents have gone up. How many patents the United States gives out. In 1820, we'd been a country for a while. It wasn't like it was just startup or anything like that. We'd been a country for 50 years. And so by 1820, they were giving out 155 patents a year. 155. In 1920, they were giving out 37,000 patents a year. In 2020, they gave out 357,000 patents. That's a 200-time increase from 1820 to 2020. The pace of our understanding and our change, our ability to change and to create new things, put all this stuff together and come up with yet another thing that is new, is so fast nowadays compared to the 1800s. And so it's natural, I think, for us to be in this place of going, wow, things are just going to change. They're going to change. They're going to change. And it's got to go for something that is better than what we have right now. Because in many ways, that's been the truth. But I think what that's done is it's kind of lessened the awe that we have. If everything is understandable by these scientists, then, well, I may not understand it, but I don't have to be in awe because somebody understands it. What that's done, though, is it's taken away the wonder, I think. It's taken away our willingness and our desire to wonder, what could it be like? How could life be different? How can I contribute to life being different? Well, I think there's some things that we can do individually to bring more wonder back into our lives, though. You know what the first thing you got to do, though, to get more wonder back in your life? You got to quit complaining. Sorry. I know, it's hard. It's hard to quit complaining, right? But complaining is the death of wonder, right? When we're complaining, what we're really doing is engaging in what is wrong in the moment, right? And when we complain, we want to tell whoever is around all the details of what is wrong. And when we do that, what we do is we get out of the awe, we get out of the wonder that God is, wondering how could Spirit make this better? What is my part to do in making this better? So what we want to do is wonder how it is that I'm going to make this better from my own perspective. You know, maybe it's true that in the path that is moving forward, there are scientists and there are engineers and there are physicians and there are all these people. Believe me, you know, some of the wonders that they're doing in medical science, you know, are great. They're wonderful. So I don't want to discount that. But I should always be, you know, taking that as my first responsibility, not other people's. I have a covenant that I work on my health, around my health. It's the only covenant that I have, and it simply goes like this. I covenant with God for my health. I will do nothing to preserve my health. My health is the providence of the Holy Spirit. And you know, when I tell people that, they look at me and they go, "You will do nothing?" Isn't that the opposite of what you just stood up here and told me to do? You know, when I invoke that covenant is when my mind, the monkey mind, starts going around and around and around. And it can be something as simple as a thought of, oh, you know, I should watch out. I could get sick if I do that. Ooh, there goes the covenant. Mm-hmm. Or, you know, somebody tells me that I really have to be taking this particular vitamin. Well, maybe that's true, but that's a choice. That's a mental choice. What I do with that covenant is I take it back into my heart to say, instead of my mind going around and around and around to choose whether I'm going to take that vitamin or not, how about I allow my heart to tell me? How about I go within to see what that infinite intelligence that God is saying on this particular subject for me, not for anybody else. It has nothing to do with anybody else. It's only me. I covenant with God for my health. I will do nothing to preserve my health. My health is the providence of the Holy Spirit. So, you know, we in this world, I just want to bring up one more. It's this and it's not that. Wonder. Wonder is not conspiracy theories. Right now, the world is deluged in conspiracy theories. And just like wonder is not complaining, it's not conspiracy theories either. Because here's what happens with conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theories are all about figuring out who's to blame. Who do I blame for the problem that's in front of me? It has nothing to do, that has nothing to do with sitting in the wonder and the awe of the Holy Spirit saying, what do I do? How do we move forward from here? What is the solution that is not just the best for me, but is the best for everyone involved? So, you know, we want to allow the love and the peace and the joy and the abundance that Spirit is to be revealed in our lives. It's always been true. It always will be true. Wonder puts us in a place of doing that revelation. So as I allow wonder to connect me to the divine so that right? That infinite creative intelligence can be created through me and as me. As I do that, we have a quote that tells us a little bit of how that will look like. It's by a woman named Valerie Carr. She says, if you remember how to wonder, then you already have what you need to learn how to love. Because that's ultimately the answer. The divine love that God is always the answer. And so how does that look for us? Well, first you have to say it's not, the love that is the answer in our world is not the love that we feel for one another. That's not exactly the love I'm talking about. The love I'm talking about, the divine love that I'm talking about, is the love that is absolute givingness. That's what God's love is to us, absolute givingness. It gives of itself to us to use. We are free to use it however we want. And an absolute acceptance. Spirit just says yes to us. It accepts us for exactly who and what we are in this moment. It is the grace that God is that fills our life, that acceptance that's total, absolute. And so as I connect with that aspect of God, those two aspects that are the divine love, the divine givingness and the divine acceptance, then the questions that I ask myself is, what do I have to give in this situation? What is it that I have that I can give in this situation? And sometimes the answer is nothing. In this particular situation, this is not mine. So maybe the better question is, what is mine to give? And then the other one is, how can I be with you without judging you? Right? Because you know, the natural way that we live our days is we make judgments all the time. But the divine acceptance that God is says, you know, don't judge people. Live from a place of accepting them as they are right now. Valerie Carr says another thing. She says, you are a part of me I don't yet know. You are a part of me that I don't yet know. You know, when I read that phrase, it started me thinking, this coming Thursday, on the 13th of January, it was 26 years ago that I first saw Gabriel. We had talked on the phone, but I hadn't seen him. I didn't know what he looked like. I didn't really know him in any way. And yet, 26 years ago, he opened the door. And I saw him for the first time. And I think this statement was true at that moment. You are a part of me I don't know yet, or I don't yet know. Now that's a different type of getting to know somebody, right? We're not going to all end up being married. But, you know, in that moment, what had to have happened in order for those next 26 years to come to where they are right now is there had to be a willingness to know somebody else at a deeper level, a willingness to accept them as they are, and a willingness to know what's mine to give. And so, as I'm thinking about this today, I'm recognizing that that's actually kind of how we can meet people all the time. We can just meet them from that place of what is mine to give, and how can I be with you without judging you. And so, I wonder. It's a statement that I think will open and change the world. It will solve many of the things that we see and we don't know what to do with right now in our society and in our world. I wonder. And so I want to leave you with an affirmation today. It's showing up on our screen. Can you read it with me? It says, "As I wonder, love is everywhere I look." Let's say that again. As I wonder, love is everywhere I look. So as you go out into your world today, as you go out into everything that's happening, what I'd like you to do is just to think about those two statements. I think they're here. Our thought is our personal use of the creative intelligence, and Spirit works for us by working through us. And as we do that, what I'd like you to do is just think about what's the connection between the creative intelligence that God is and how it works through me. And so let your wonder, wander with your wonder. Allow yourself to just move through life wondering, what is it that I'm supposed to do right now? And if you're still confused after you try that for a little bit, then as always, just let Spirit guide you. Thank you, and namaste. So Chris is going to play it a little bit as we just ground ourselves and anchor into these words. Dear beloved, in this moment, right here, right now, what I recognize is the truth of that life, that power, that presence moving through me and as me, through you and as you, through everything that there is, because it is that creative, infinite intelligence that is back behind everything in this universe and beyond. And we know and accept that there are certain other qualities that we like to identify with that life, that power, that presence that is God. We like to know the truth of Spirit as love, as peace, as joy, as harmony, as wholeness, as abundance, as beauty, as all these qualities, knowing absolutely that Spirit creates out of that which it is into our lives and all the fullness that it is. And I know that as that's the truth of Spirit, it's the truth of me, and it's the truth of you, and it's the truth of everyone that's online here today. And it's the truth of everyone out in the world and beyond. That this one life, this one power, this one creative essence that is God is moving through us and as us with ease and with joy and with grace. And so it's from that place of knowingness that I speak my word as the truth of this life, of our life, of all life. That this life that is God is love, and that love shows up as both divine acceptance and divine givingness. And in that life as divine acceptance, we live in the grace that God is. We live from a place of knowing that exactly as we are right now is perfectly good. that we don't have to change in order to be accepted by God, because we are always and always have been and always will be the divine expression that God is, the individualized expression of the divine that is the truth of you, the truth of me. And so all the love and the peace and the joy that God is, it moves through us naturally and effortlessly. It creates into our life just as we believe. And so as we align ourselves to this love and to this peace and to this joy, those things are naturally revealed in our life because they always were there. We just know it full-heartedly to be the truth of us. And for knowing that truth today, I just give thanks. And I release this prayer to the law, knowing that it's already fulfilled in the mind that God is. And I say life and God are good and very good. And together we say, and so it is. Amen and amen. So now is the time for conscious contributions. So I know that many of you have already given online, and so thank you for that. And if you have not, it's not too late. There's plenty of ways to do it. There are 3 ways that are showing up on this slide right now. One is to go to our website, ahiah.com/donate. Another is to text to give. And if you text to give, just text the word give to this number, 616-229-2225, and then it'll send you instructions on how to do that. And then the third way is just to mail a check to our address here, 150 North El Molino Avenue, Pasadena, California, 91101. And if you want to send a little love note in there, I would love to have, I love my love notes. I love them. So anyway, no pressure, but if you do, I read them all, so I do love them. And if you're here today, there's offering envelopes in the pews, and you can put whatever you're bringing today to give your conscious contribution, and then put it in the plate at the end of service. They'll be at the exits. And so why don't we take whatever our contribution is, maybe it's virtual, and we hold it to our hearts. And go ahead and read this along with me. This gift I give is God in action. I send it forth with joy, confidence, and ease. I am blessed by the law of giving and receiving, as I now share my gift with life. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. And so it is. Amen and amen. And so now I'd like to ask Stefana to come on up. She's going to give us another song. I don't know if she can top that earlier one or not. We'll see.
Thank you again, Ahiah family, for your always very warm and loving welcome. This song here, too, simply titled You Matter, is an original, and it is all about divine acceptance and non-judgment, and that acknowledgement of that divine goodness to the very core, the goodness that is within all of us, no matter what our who we are, where we are, our whatever our walk in life is. That's right, you can get yeah. Oh, you matter. Oh, you matter. Oh, you matter. Oh, you matter. To you who wears a smile, and to you who wears a frown, and to you whose home is the warm bed, and to you whose home is the cold ground, and to you who sees yourself as fat, and to you who sees yourself as too thin, and to you who judges myself and others by the color of our skin. Oh, you matter. Oh, you matter. Oh, you matter. Oh, you matter. And to you who lives it up wealthy rich, and to you who lives it down dirt poor, and to you who takes a stand for peaceful, and to you who takes the side of war, and to you with mental illness, and to you whose mind is well, and to you who's got a stillness, and to you whose heaven is hell. Oh, you matter. Oh, you matter. Oh, you matter. Oh, you matter. You really make a difference to me in your own way. You really do contribute something good every day. Don't ever underestimate the difference you make in your own way. In your own way. Oh, yeah. Oh, you matter. Yes, yes, you do. Oh, you matter. Leon on bass. Chris on keys now. To you who wants to die, and to you who's dying to live, and to you who shares too much, and to you who cannot give, and to you whose life is gay, and to you whose life is straight, and to you who lives to love, and to you who loves to hate. Oh, you matter. Oh, you matter. Oh, you matter. Oh, you matter. You really make a difference to me in your own way. You really do contribute something good every day. Don't ever underestimate the difference you make in your your own way. Oh, you matter. Oh, you matter. Yes, yes, you do. Oh, you matter. You really make a difference. You really make a difference to me in your own way. Oh, you matter. Yes, yes, yes. Never ever underestimate. Don't ever underestimate the difference that you and you and you and you and you and you make. You matter. Yes, yes, you do. Oh, you matter. Yes, yes, you do. Oh, we matter. Yes, yes, you do. Oh, you matter. Yes, and we do. Yes, we matter. And for and oh, you matter. Oh, you matter. Oh, you matter. Last one. Oh, you matter.
Yes. Yes, yes. Thank you, Stefana. Wow. Why don't you turn to somebody here in the room, and for those of you online, if you're with somebody, turn to them. Otherwise, look right straight at me and just say, "Oh, you matter." Oh, you matter. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, you matter. Mm-hmm. Oh, you matter. I love it. I love it. All right. Well, I'll tell you, you all matter. I love you all. And if you need a little bit of lift, we got a way for that for you, a way for that to happen for you. We have practitioners that are here. Reverend Mike and I would love to pray with you. We also have Marcia. I see Jackie. I see Lisa. They're all practitioners. They would love to pray with you. Play with you, pray with you. It's the same thing, right? And and there's Chris also. He's a practitioner. We have practitioners everywhere you look. And if you are wanting to talk to one of the practitioners more one-on-one, you can always call them up. They have contact information on ahiah.com/meetyourpractitioner or meet our practitioners. And then if you would like to have prayer, you can always do that online by filling out a prayer request. It's only seen by the practitioners and Reverend Mike and I, and we would love to pray for you. Go to ahiah.com/prayers. We also have dial-a-prayer. If you need a little lift me up, just a little pick me up during the week, you can go and see it online, or you can call the number here at the office and dial, hit number 7, and it'll take you there. I also want to remind you that Beyond Limits starts this week on Tuesday. It's a very, very good class. We taught it last year, but I know not everybody was there, so there's plenty of people who haven't had the class. And it's a class about the basics. It's a class about the basic ideas, just like we were talking this morning, and talk these basic ideas. It's how to take those basic ideas and put them to work in our lives so that we get beyond the limits that we are placing on ourselves. Because the only limits that are on our lives ever are the ones that we put on ourselves. And so you can go to ahiah.com/classes and you can find more information about it. But it's Tuesdays from 6:30 to 9 o'clock, starting this Tuesday. Or we have Kelly Metcalf is teaching a class, The 5 Gifts for an Abundant Life. And that's on Thursdays, starting this Thursday, from from 6:30 to 9 also. And both of those classes, go to ahiah.com/classes to get more information and to register so that we can make sure you know how to get on and get connected with the class. If we're getting ready to look for people who are going to replace, Gloria is here today, maybe. She said she had to leave. She might have left already. But Gloria was here. She is on our board. She's been acting as our treasurer. She is leaving the board come March when our annual meeting shows up. That'll be her last moment of being a treasurer and being on the board. So we're looking for people to be on the board that fit that. We're looking for somebody to actually be the treasurer. Is the number one goal. But right now what we're doing is we're filling a nominating committee. So this is the committee that reviews all the applications and makes a recommendation to the board of who should fill that slot. And so if you want to be on the nominating committee, let me know. If you want to be on the board, let me know. And I'd be happy to connect you with either one of those things. And then the 31st, we're going to be doing this month's installment of Creating the Beloved Community. Reverend Mike leads that group. It's a lovely, lovely process. If you have not been or you have not been in a while, I highly recommend that you come and join us in this process of creating the beloved community. Remember, Martin Luther King's Day is on the 17th. So, it's that time of year. And Season of Nonviolence, which is based on on Martin Luther King and on Gandhi. Starts with the assassination and ends with the other assassination, right? So it starts on January 30th, and our class here is on the 31st. Love to have you there. And so, Lisa, I can bring you a mic. Oh, yes, Malachi will bring her a mic. Speaking to that, make sure that's going.
Mic check 1 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good morning online. We want to remind everybody that Youth Church is open. We're here every Sunday. We have lots of great things planned. We just need the kids to come. But I understand about the hesitancy with what's currently happening. So on Sunday, the 23rd of this month, we will start doing Zoom as well as in-person church. And I'll have more information about that next week. But I just want to, and I know the kids have Zoom fatigue, and as a lot of us do, but I just want to, and you know this, that I think that now more than ever, the kids need youth church and that support, that extra support. And I do a lot of fun things online. So we play games, we do scavenger hunts, we definitely talk about the principles and our connectedness, and give tools to how to navigate this really weird time for all of us. So just want to remind everybody we're here, and as we, Malachi and I.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Malachi.
Thank you.
So let's go ahead. I think that's our last thing. So let's go ahead and do the benediction. And so it's showing up on your screen and on your screens at home. So if you read along with me, something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. Life is in all of my affairs. I accept it. I am it. And I share it. Just the way it appears and just the way it appears not. Thank you, life. Amen and amen. So I'd love to see you guys out on the patio. If you're here and if you're online, I'll be with you in the fellowship room. Go to ahiah.com/virtual. Hit the go to Zoom button if you're not already there. And I will be there in about 15 minutes to chat up with you. So I love you guys, and I will see you next week. Thank you so much, and namaste, everyone.
couple of times we were in off places, but it still worked out fine. It did. I started
and
talking.
I said I was gonna change, and I said, no, just keep doing it. You're like two bars.
Yep.
2 bars away from him, but it's still working.
It's amazing. It just does it, right? It's just you breathe. We're just breathing music. You know, it's crazy. I read this thing by this guy, and he was talking about like purity of speech. Right? He's talking about what comes out. But we breathe, we speak music, and it's the same. It's like whatever you call it, words. It's not what we're putting out. It's just.
I'm thinking about my solo, and I'm thinking I need to look crazy. Yeah. Be more defined in my to me, it's a matter of voice. I gotta work on it, but that's what I want to do. You know, where my melody is locked into, my vocals locked into.